Hello, my name is Chatelier, and welcome back for another episode of Colombian Space Initiative in Supreme Roller Ultimate. And in previous episodes, we're building up a bit more energy. We are once again a bit below it, but we have also done a few years skip forward, if I remember correctly. I don't actually remember what was the exact date that we left off last time, but I have played a fair bit forward, and now we actually have the money to buy the polymerization theories from the United States. Let's see, it should be down here. Okay, we'll actually be saving a little bit of money in there. But yeah, we have started building this area up a little bit, so we have a fair bit of coal power plants there. We still need to build more, to be fair. And our industrial goods production is fairly good. Also selling quite a bit of consumer goods, so we are making a massive amount of money out of that. If we have a look at our total trades on a daily basis, consumer goods is a full million. Petroleum is 600,000, which honestly isn't bad either. Okay, but now that we got the... Ooh, we need to get improved plastics, and that's going to be a bit expensive. Also, there's the molecular biology. That's not too bad, I guess. But yes, I believe we need the plastics, so I'm going to put that into the research queue already. Now, of course, we are still researching only one thing at a time, so it's... maybe a little bit lacking, I suppose. We are on full spending. How is our unemployment doing right now? 3.7%, that's not too bad. Inflation is 7.2%, which is still a bit high, but it could be worse. It could, of course, be better as well, but we are working on that. And I think the next thing that we do need, or do, is probably get more electrical power production, and for that the coal power plants are generally fairly good. They produce the most power early on. Of course they do then take some coal, but we got plenty of coal production capabilities. Oh, actually we are selling some coal now, so let me put in... Well, I'm not making a massive profit out of that, but we are selling some, so I'm going to pull in another facility online. Not sure how badly that is going to affect our unemployment. Probably not too much. We're about to hit 6 million in population as well, so that's going to be rather handy. But we are still waiting for the early combat aircraft. Well, I mean, technically we could save up the money and buy it from the United States again to get the... I'm going to pause that actually, get the plastics first. Because that is going to unlock much more things. For example, basic electronics, which is a bit expensive to buy. And then there's the synthetic rubber, although... Okay, so the basic electronics we could actually then get directly. Synthetic rubber, we need quite a few other things, which I reckon probably need... Actually, molecular biology, improved class and optics. Yeah, we needed basic electronics. Oh. I think for... Oh yeah, Japan declared war on China. Right, because we do have the medium volatility on right now, just so that there's going to be a little bit things happening in the world in the meanwhile, while we are building up our economy and maybe making a bit more profit from the war. But that is likely going to spike the price of not only military goods, but also probably industrial goods as well. Although industrial goods we are not actually selling any right now. We need to gather up a fair stockpile of it to be able to build what we need. Although, if we have a look, how much would the coal power plant... It's only 16,000 tons. Okay, I suppose we can build that now. We've still got a decent cash reserve. Also, oh right, the expenditures grew up a little bit. It's not too bad on a regular day though. And even the fact that we are building that with pretty good speed, I suppose we could get another engineer unit. Are we? We're not building any troops right now. Okay, so let's get... I'm going to get 2 more engineers, so we'll have a full 7... I'm not actually sure if these are companies or brigades or what are they, but yeah, we'll get more engineers. A bit of a sip of tea. At least the first episode that I'm recording today. Right, but so far so good. I mean, let's actually have a look at the war in China. So the Japanese Navy is taking... Ooh, actually. Yeah, they started advancing over here. Oh, yeah, actually going rather quickly there. I mean, it could be that the Chinese don't really have a lot of things going for them. And their approval rating is plummeting. They do have over 500 million population though, so that is quite something. But it looks to me that Japanese will be probably winning at least early on. Eventually they might run out of supplies and then it's gonna bog down. But so far they are doing pretty good, or rather well in that war. I'm gonna keep the medium volatility up for a little bit longer, so maybe a few more war declarations. Then I'm gonna lower it to low and let the wars be declared because of what they've done rather than just the volatility. Because I just don't want to be declared war on right now. Not ready for a war. We don't plan on being particularly ready either. So there is that. But yeah, we are selling it. Ooh, actually, how we started making more of the. Making 250,000 military goods still, so no, we haven't actually improved the profit over there. Consumer goods, on the other hand, is doing massively well. How's the unemployment? 3.6%, so the inflation has grown a little bit again. One thing that I suppose I could do is I could lower the taxes once again, a tiny bit. It will lower our income for a little bit. At the same time, it should increase the amount of domestic market sales for food and timber. Actually, speaking of timber, do we have... No, we actually have all of these facilities up and running already. How much would it cost to build one? Oh, it's only 60... Okay, yeah, we could easily build up that to the limit and be producing as much timber as we need. Oh, there's another war. Soviet Russia declared war on Japan. Alright then. So how quickly are these... Okay, the coal power plant is almost completed. Of course the energy expenditure isn't massive, so we probably shouldn't need to worry about that too much. But so far, seems to be doing alright. Inflation is growing once again, a tiny bit there. Right, so we got the power plant completed. Let's have a look. How are we doing to productions? We got slightly more production than consumption. So we'll get a tiny bit extra sales from that. It's like $4,000 per day. So not massive. It's down to 3,000. But yeah, one thing that I should probably do is expand our consumer goods production. Oh, actually, before we do that, let me go ahead and buy some more rubber from the British, because I know that we're going to need more. I'm going to buy, I don't know, 30,000 tons. What is the best price you get? Okay, 20 million. I suppose I can afford that. But that's going to allow us to keep the industry running. Mostly the consumer and military goods are using that right now. I think there might be some units that might require a little bit of rubber in production, but for the most part, we don't need to worry about that right now. Right, so how's the war in the... It's basically Japan versus Russia and China. Now, they have made massive gains in this war so far. Remains to be seen if they can actually take the entire country. I believe they've taken... Yeah, they've taken Vladivostok. Oh, they're about to reach Harbin. Alright then. Yeah, I wasn't exactly expecting the war to start on this episode, but I'm pretty happy that I did. So there's at least something that we can keep an eye on. Okay, so our research rank is 27. That's not particularly great. Well, I mean, it's okay-ish. GDP ranking, we are on 26. Okay, so that's one step better there. Our GDP is actually almost 500 per capita. So, I mean, it has certainly increased. How's the unemployment doing now? 3.6. The inflation is going down. We have more than 6 million population, so that's good. Hopefully it will keep... Actually, let me have a look. How much is it improving? Quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit. Like 120 something thousand per year, so that's actually a rather significant increase there. from the previous time. And the fact that we are lowering the taxes every now and then does help a little bit there. I suppose I could send you... Yeah, sure. I'm going to send you down there to help with the construction. Now that we've got the power, I mean, we may need to build more power soon enough. Especially once we build another factory, we then definitely need more power. That reminds me, over here we got pretty good... Ooh, actually. If I was to build a supply depot in here, that would increase the productions in the entire region. I'm gonna do that. We got the engineer just in time. You can help construction over there. Eventually I will add it to the same group over there, but right now, not a priority. Actually, we might want to... Oh right, we are building another engineer. At some point, how much do we have? Still got over 12,000 industrial goods. Because we got pretty good production comparatively, so yeah, we'll be making a decent bit of those. We'll start saving up a little bit for the railroad network down this way. So we're going to eventually reach Barranquilla with a train to get troops quickly over there. How is the supply over here? 45%. So if I was to get another supply depot over there, that reminds me, how is the unemployment? Okay, the inflation has gone up a decent chunk again, so we might want to hold off for building more things for the time being. Not that we necessarily need much things either. But yeah, the timber production is going to skyrocket most likely in the very near future. Now let's have a look at the Japan front again. Oh wow, they've gone to... almost at Beijing. They are pushing the Russians back a little bit. Well, I think over here they are starting to face a lack of supplies. Well, the supply just doesn't reach, actually. We can check that. Yeah, it's a bit poor supply over there. Over here it's still decent, and along the railway they can probably take a fair bit of land, but... yeah, outside of the railway it's going to be rather difficult. Let's say the least. Okay, so we've got the constructions here. I suppose I can send you to aid in the construction there for the time being. So how much are we producing? 4,000 tons now. Okay, not quite as much as I hoped for, but it's certainly better than nothing. So one thing that I need to consider is... where do I want to connect this one? I'm sure that I want to connect it either there or there. I'm not entirely sure which one would be better for the supply. So, let's have a look. Over here it is 68 and 61. So connecting that one would probably be better. Especially once we get the supply depot over here in relatively quick order. Let me remove them and add them back again. So now they are all in the same battle group. I'm going to have to do that again once we get the new one. Right, so our total military is still rather small. And we are on maxed funding already. But that's alright. Okay, so we are actually spending quite a bit of money. Of course, building the supply depot is not cheap. But it will help a long way in the long run. So our... actually... approval rating 31%, my goodness. So that means that we're going to win our next election pretty much guaranteed. Right, still 3 months away from getting the early combat aircraft. On the other hand, once we get this completed, it's going to increase the productions of all of those. Potentially, not necessarily massively in terms of military goods, but I think the industrial goods and consumer good productions will increase quite significantly. Let's actually have a look. I think it was about that side. Oh, yep. Increased by a 10 over there, and I think about a 10 in consumer good as well. Oh, it's still increasing. A lot of it. Oh, yeah. Supplies are pretty good in here now. Did that? Oh, and it did actually give us an extra 3 tons of military goods per day. So that's actually going to be very profitable for us. And this is kind of one of the reasons why you want to concentrate your industries in areas with high supplies. Simply because they'll just be producing a lot more. Now, to be fair, unemployment did drop quite heavily there as well. So that is something to keep in mind. But actually, how much are we making? 2.3 million from sales now. Almost 1.2 million from consumer goods. Petroleum, we're gonna have to improve that production a little bit at some point. Actually, we're selling a bit more agriculture than I thought we would be. But, oh right, that's probably because the supplies is reaching now further over there, for example. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Alright then, so how much do we have industrial goods now? We've got 11,500. That's not enough to build most of the things that we would need. No, and the coal price has dropped. Ooh. Okay, how much are we making from coal anyway? 65,000. It's not the worst. How much does the... Hold on, is it... it's down here. No, I can't see it from there, but if I go through the build transport, so over here I can see how much does it take. It takes 2,700 industrial goods per hex of rail. And road is 4,200 tons. So rail is definitely the cheaper option. I think I can afford going there now. Just gonna send the engineers down that way. Help a little bit, I mean at least they can go over there on a rail. And it should help spreading out the supplies down this way. Although not necessarily all that much, but there are also some places over here that we can set up more agriculture, for example. And having that connected to the network is gonna be good for us. Now, to be fair, with this amount of engineers, the work should go relatively quickly. So at least we can kind of expect something good out of that. Now let's have a look. Are there any techs that we could buy from the United States right now? Molecular biology is too expensive. Warfare things are probably too expensive. Yeah, that kind of seems to be the case, so not really. Okay, well let's just save off the cash then. So we're still making about 1 million. Actually, I'm going to lower the taxes once again. See how low we can go and still make money, essentially. And I'm going to keep an eye on... Okay, we're buying electricity again. So we have to build more for that. Or we just have to increase the price. Let's actually have a look. In terms of electricity, what is taking the most? The civilian demand is only 3,700. It's only the third largest portion of that, and military goods is the smallest one. But even that is not all that massive. But on the other hand, we only produce 13,500. So yeah, there's a little bit that we could perhaps increase. For example, if we were to increase price, we could lower the consumption of the civilian sector a tiny bit. Now, how is our approval rating? Is 30.9. That has actually gone down a smidgen. But I think we'll survive. I think we'll just gather the money to buy the molecular biology thingy, and then maybe some of the warfare things. We are still well behind in the race for the bomb. I mean, the Germans have a little bit. The British apparently have nuclear weapons already. Although they probably won't be using them, but apparently they have all the technology required for it, according to that. But yeah, to get the man on Mars, that's gonna take a while. At some point in the near future, once we have enough income from our productions, essentially, I'm gonna move you down to there already, and I'll move in the other engineers once they're done. Actually, well, there's still that one to be completed, but I think we can move you down there already. Get ready to build more electricity. Or another supply depot over there, actually. That should help. Also, let's put you on the construction duty there. So how much do we have of supplies right now? 6,000? Not great, but I'm pretty sure that if we increase this, or build another supply depot here, it's going to increase the supply levels here to 100%, which will increase the coal production quite significantly. And if I want, I could just build a quick and short railway line from the center here to the coal power plant area, so the supplies would spread even better. still over a month away from the early combat aircraft, so let's have a look at the situation in China. Okay, so the Japanese have taken a fair bit more of the coast there. I mean, I suppose the Japanese fleet is much stronger than the Russian one in the Far East. And it's probably going to be mostly possible or impossible for the Russians to get their fleet in here. It's just very low supply, unless they go around the Arctic, I suppose. Then that might be possible, but even then, unlikely. But yeah, the Japanese have taken Harbin, but it looks like their advancing has indeed slowed down. How much has the price skyrocketed on military goods? Not massively. Not massively. One of the, well, not really top exporters. We are in the list there, but not very high. Russia is actually exporting the military goods right now. Japan, Germany, China and Italy are importing. Interesting. So it could be that Italy and Japan will start declaring wars as well at some point. Let me have a quick look though. So I have a pretty good casus belli against Germany there, and Japan is currently, of the larger nations, along with Germany, the most likely ones to declare war on us. Interesting. Alright, we've got over 100 million. I know we are slowly approaching the end of the episode, so what I'll probably do is I'll skip ahead a little bit again and get the supply levels over here and up a little bit, and then maybe we'll try to buy more techs. Maybe we should start building more military goods factories just to make bank on that. On the other hand, market availability. Oh, actually, I think the profit margins, have they gone up or down? They may have gone up a little bit. I know that it was over 1,000 for the each ton of consumer goods, but now it's 1,400 almost, 13.5. So it might have been mostly the same actually. Now that I think of it. But yeah, I suppose, how much does it cost to build the supply depot? And luckily the supply depot you can find on any category there, except the transport. Right, so 3,000, oh yeah, we could easily do that. It does cost a fair bit, though. Yeah, we'll build that. So that'll get completed soon enough. It will take us back a little bit in terms of money, though. But not too badly by the looks of it. Now that we've got the 7 engineers here, it should be going relatively quickly. I think it's going to go 3 days per day. Or triple speed, basically. So that's pretty good. Now, how is our... Ooh, GDP is over 500 now. Unemployment is 3.5%. How low the taxation? Population is growing. Let's actually have a look. Are we gaining more population than what we were before? It's... That's maybe gone up like 1,000 or so on a yearly basis. Immigration has increased by a few thousand. Births have gone up a tiny bit, I guess. But yeah, we are making pretty good amount of people, getting a decent increase in population on a yearly basis right now. And that is going to help a long way. Ooh, and we got the early combat aircraft. Now we're going to start getting the improved plastics. Which is probably going to cost a fair bit, but... actually, it's not all that much. Alright then. Now, is there something that we need to get from... I believe we might be able to get the airships now. Not that we'll be using them, and farmers we could also get. But neither one of those is particularly useful for us this moment in time. Right, so the supply depot is going to be done in 3 more days, by the looks of it. And that's going to increase the electricity production. So actually, no, there's not really... Because they do say that petroleum would be a good thing to sell right now. I mean, the production price compared to the market price is pretty good, in fact. Right, so let's have a look at this. How is this going to be evolving? That's an extra 200 tons. Or not tons, megawatt hours. Another 2,500. Now we are over the... So we are actually exporting a little bit of electricity again. Rather small amounts, to be fair, but a little bit nonetheless, and the supply levels over here are now 96%. That probably dropped our unemployment back to, oh yeah, 3.4%, so not going to build anything important right now. I think something that we should start figuring out though is how much would a research center cost? A fortune? 31,000 tons of industrial goods as well, so we'll probably want to start saving up a little bit for that. We could of course improve the rail connections down this way. Maybe go there and there. Or around here to there, and then over here we could probably connect or go around through the forest area here to there, and we can connect this railway to that. And then go around there and around there, and then connect to that one. Because we do have a little bit over here, and eventually we might want to get some naval production in here. But it would appear that we are actually out of time for this episode now, so as I said, I will be doing a bit of a time skip here. Gather up a little bit of money so we can start buying techs from the United States and stuff like that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.